What's good, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry for taking such a long break. Just got back from Italy. Had a great time. I highly recommend y'all get out there, step back from investing, TCGs, hobbies, whatever. Get out there and travel, see the world, go to a foreign country. Went through Switzerland. I went to Bellagio, Lake Como, Venezia. Very picturesque, beautiful mountains, waterfalls, a glacial lake that you can swim through in Lake Como. Very, very beautiful. And I really enjoyed it. And the pizza is everything that people say it is in Italy. It is the best, right? It was amazing. I ate pizza like for 3 days straight. But now I'm back to it. So it's time to deep dive back into Pokemon. I'm very excited. There's a lot of great stuff coming out. That's kind of what I want to talk about today, just for a few minutes, talking about some of the market, what is up right now as far as flagship players, to also include a highly rumored and speculative set that is coming out that people are really excited for. It's starting to cause a huge buzz, which is really exciting, especially in the Scarlet and Violet era, that I have not been too excited about until now, and that's what we're going to talk about. So we know the last few videos I talked about Evolving Skies, talked about how Sword and Shield was going to start going up in value. It did. Now it's starting to fall back in value, and that's okay, right? It ebbs and flows. The Pokemon market goes up, goes down. Sets generally take off after like 3 to 5 years if you're a long-term holder, and then post-generation, a lot of sets that didn't do so well, all the way back like Steam Siege and some for Sword and Shield, are starting to go up in value because, I mean, they're out of print, right? Once they're out of print, things are bound to go up in value, even if people didn't like them, because they're more affordable. So it gets harder to purchase boxes like Evolving Skies because it's just incredibly expensive. But of course, it will continue to go up in value. Stuff like Team Up is still going up in value. But now a lot of alternate arts are starting to cool off. We've seen the Japanese market is starting to cool off, and a lot of things are starting to become more affordable. So you have a buyer's market and you have a seller's market. Right now it's starting to formulate back into a buyer's market where things are cheaper. When you see things like that, don't be afraid. Go out there and pick up some of the cards that you've been waiting to pick up, and don't be mad that they're going down in value. Just, try not to buy at the high. Now, when an Umbreon is sitting at like $1,000 for a raw card, that was probably not the best bet to buy it, but I was selling them, right? So you have to pay attention to stuff like that. The cards will come back down in value, and when they're affordable, then go ahead and pick up some. Right now, I think for Scarlet and Violet, now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great artwork out there. I love, the full card artwork and all that stuff that's going on. There's a lot of underrated Pokemon that's getting love in the Scarlet and Violet era right now. 151, great set, printed to oblivion. There's so much out there now that it's like $50 a box. It's not to say that it won't go up long term. There's still a lot of great cards that are hard to pull, like the Pikachu Master Ball. Some would say they're overrated, but I think they're still a good pickup long term. But right now, that box is incredibly cheap, which is not a bad thing. If you're a collector, now you can pick up a box for like $50. For the ones that sat on hundreds of boxes or 10, 20 boxes, now they're punching air because it's a lot cheaper. So sometimes Pokemon hits you with that curveball, and then prices will plummet because they want to get cards into the hands of collectors and players. That's not bad. That's not a wrong thing, right? Because that's what Pokemon's there for. It's to play, it's to have fun, it's to collect and enjoy. And if you want to make money over the long term, then look for deals and cards where you can do that, right? I mean, all times it just switches to different eras, whether it's vintage, Japanese, alternate arts, modern cards. There's all types of stuff that we could talk about as far as money. But looking right here for the set that is coming up, right? We're going to talk about two things just very quickly. This is on Screen Rant, and one that is being talked about right now is a possible Japanese high class set, which is Terastal Festival. That probably will come out around the December time frame. High class sets are really awesome. They're very desirable, and it says they usually consist of 10 to 11 cards per pack, with better guaranteed pulls per pack and a much higher chance of a God pack, which really excites people because a God pack is incredibly hard to pull, and you get a whole pack full of awesome cards, and that's very, very exciting. So that will be a great release coming out end of this year. And then the one that people are really excited for is this one right here. It says the Glory of Team Rocket. So everybody knows the antagonist for Pokemon. You have the antagonist crew, which is right here, Team Rocket, and then we have the Glory of Team Rocket. So right now there's a lot of buzz and speculation saying that this set is not real, but this, I believe, is supposed to come out the beginning of 2025, and the speculation right now is that we are going to see Dark Pokemon again because, of course, we have Team Rocket. That is very, very exciting, and this is another set I wouldn't mind if it was printed into hell just like 151, because this set I'm sure is going to be awesome. It's going to be pricey. There will be a ton of hype. Pokemon knows that. They're probably going to print this a lot, and whether they do or don't, it's a very exciting time for Scarlet and Violet and to see Team Rocket coming out if it does. I am excited to see what Dark Pokemon will be coming out. Let me know what y'all think. A Dark Dragonite, something really cool. Which ones would y'all be excited to see? Will this spark that nostalgia? Are you excited for this set? All the way at the beginning of 2025, this is one that is highly anticipated, that I will be waiting for, and I hope that it comes to fruition, and that will be very exciting. So moving on right here, we'll look at the market for like 2 seconds. This is Alt. I've talked about Alt a few times, a really awesome looking website to look at the market. And just looking at Pokemon, these are some of the key players that are up right now. The hot players for Pokemon: Dragonite, Giratina, Vaporeon, Flareon, and Celebi. So of course you have some evolutions. A few of the cards are starting to go up from Lost Origin. You also have the Dragonite alternate art. So these cards were kind of undervalued. Giratina has been up there for a while, right? But Dragonite has been kind of cheap. You also had your Celebi alternate art has been kind of cheap. You had the promos from the promo boxes have kind of went up in value for the Flareon, the Vaporeon. The Vaporeon is super hard to grade in a 10 from the boxes. And that's generally all of the promos, right? They don't come out of the box in great condition. They're very hard to grade a 10, which therefore, being evolutions, getting a 10 makes them very, very valuable. So right now, Dragonite is up about 7.35%, sitting at number 1. You have Giratina up about 6%, Vaporeon 5, Flareon 4.7, and Celebi sitting right around 4.55. So these are the key players right now. And then looking at the most recent set, Twilight Masquerade, these are still the 2 most expensive cards in the set. Of course, you have the supporter right here. You have Carmine, a really expensive card. June 14th, this went at 36 bids for $490. Crazy. But once again, don't FOMO in. A lot of these cards in the past, like Iono and stuff like that, have come down by a lot. So all of these, as you want to call them, waifus, are coming down in value, and you don't want to FOMO into them because this is at the high. But another beautiful card in the set is this Greninja EX that I talked about a few videos ago. Crazily went for 52 bids, $477 for a perfect raw version of this card. But bear in mind, these are little tidbits and little things that people put the nuances into their listings, such as perfect, which gets them more value for the card. People tend to pay more for it because they believe that perfect equates to a PSA 10, and I can grade this card. Now, understand that no one can guarantee a perfect 10 from a grading company. This could be an 8, it could be a 9, there could be surface issues that you cannot see with the naked eye. Maybe you don't have a jeweler's loupe, you can't see this card basically under a microscope or a really good lighting. So do not pay a premium for cards just because people use buzzwords such as perfect, PSA 10 worthy, stuff like that. Do not do it. Find you a deal. This card can be found for much cheaper than that. And we're not going to continue looking at that. You can look at it yourself. But the set is very beautiful. Twilight Masquerade does have a lot of cool looking artwork. Even the stuff like Pinsir, that's a really cool looking artwork. The Infernape, I love it. Really, really awesome. And then moving down, you have the Hisuian Growlithe. That's a really cool looking card. The Chansey, the Eevee. A lot of beautiful looking stuff. And I think a lot of these are undervalued. I think a lot of the ARs and stuff like that are going to go up over time. I think a lot of these cards that are much, much cheaper right now will go up over time. You have this Kieran right here, has Pikachus in the background, and that would probably go up over time as well. Anything that has flagship Pokemon inside of it can tend to hold value, so pay attention to that. That's one of the main things I look for when I'm buying cards, is you have to pay attention what Pokemon are centered around the card, because one of the most important things is what is the hype around that Pokemon? Is it flagship and is it very desirable? If it is, then that card may carry value. If it don't carry value now, it may carry value down the road. Now, you have some Pokemon where the card looks amazing, but it may not carry a lot of value because the Pokemon is not as desirable. So for you new collectors out there that are looking for value, is pay attention. The easiest way is to look for some of the the oldest and most known Pokemon. When you look at evolutions, Gengars, even Greninja is pretty cool. You have Pikachu, stuff like that, Charizard. Those cards tend to hold value. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Drop a comment if you like this content. Like, subscribe, help your boy out. And I'll be back soon with another video, and I'll see y'all later. Out.